This is Susan Kersch-Kibler. Today we're taking a trip to Bucha, and we've just left Kyiv, and I want you to take a look. This is a car from UK, and I have told you before I'm seeing a lot of foreigners and English speakers in Kyiv. This is an area that had a lot of communications and was one of the first areas hit during the war. Hopefully I'll get a picture. There was a garage that was completely destroyed that's now completely rebuilt, but I may not be fast enough with my camera. I've left Kyiv and I'm on my way to Bucha, and these are major crossroads leading from Kyiv outward, and this is major infrastructure. It's all been rebuilt. You can see it's pretty shiny, but this was one of the areas completely destroyed in the very first probably day missile strike of the war. I wanted to show you a little bit of the reality versus what we see on TV. Now I'm trying, you see on the other side of the tree, that's a monument to World War II. Unfortunately, Bucha has been in the crosshairs in that war too. One of the main reasons I wanted to take a look is because, according to mass media, this place looked and it was indeed hit very, very hard, but parts of it were left unscathed, and today a very great deal, 90%, 80%, 70%? I don't know, percentage-wise. Well, we're guessing that a large percentage has been rebuilt.
Yeah, 70% I would say.
All right, 70% is our anecdotal from a resident of Bucha guess. And we're at a stoplight here, so I'm sorry you're not seeing anything exciting. As I've said, and it really is true, there's hard to find any traces of the war, but we're outside of Kyiv on our way to Bucha, and you can see those are trenches that are still left from the fighting, mostly in the beginning of the war. But you can still see, I'm hoping, the trenches that were left. One of the interesting impacts of war that I didn't think of, well, I probably did, but it hasn't come to my mind recently, is that a lot of places have gone bankrupt because during the war they weren't able to continue because they didn't have, obviously, the clients. And so there's been a lot of disruption, and that's yet another reason that they're struggling with their economy. Less jobs. We just went by, I don't think I got it in my thing, but it was a sport place with tennis courts. In this area, there's a lot of sanatoriums. What they mean by that is like, oh God, not really rest homes. They're kind of summer homes for a lot of people. In the old days, they used to think of them as places to go and get better. But I think they're mostly, I used to laugh because people would always go there for like months. But you'll notice, even when you give birth here, your child through surrogacy, they just tend to keep them in the hospital, the maternity ward, far more than we would ever in Western countries. They're just much more careful, and also they're not in a rush to just kick you out. So I am in Bucha, and one of the things that's interesting to see is there's two sides of the river, but I just wanted you to see, because on the news, well, for the outside world, it sounded like all parts of Bucha were like completely destroyed, like a a nuclear blast had gone off here, and it really was quite targeted. And so there really were a lot of places, actually the majority, right, that weren't touched. And I just want you to see, because it's one thing that we hear on the news, and it's another that is reality. It's really a beautiful area. You can see it's gorgeous, and there's a lot of lakes. I haven't actually seen the lakes. I haven't spent a lot of time in this area. But look at these buildings. It's really beautiful. I bet in the fall with the leaves, it's going to be stunning. And these are private houses?
No, it's government mostly. So we are coming to the end of this small, like, it's called Resurgence, in fact, but like those houses are private.
Okay.
This one is also private.
So as you just heard, I'm so lucky to have Pavel with me, helping to drive me here so that I'm not, I don't know what, hitchhiking. And he lives here, so he's able to really tell me the background. So we're very, very lucky. I'm kind of a city woman and haven't spent a lot of time out here at all. But we're coming into the private houses area. And you can see, whoops, this is not a cheap, yeah, this is quite posh. You said some of the houses are hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, absolutely. So here you may continue to film. So what's my favorite cafe is completely burned down. I was hit by a mine. We used to come here with my wife quite often.
But of course, we still have an electronics store. Always. This is another thing that's made me sad. There are so many animals that had to be left behind because there just wasn't any way to take them with them.
And there are quite a few big, how do you call them, preute in English. So that's the lakes I was talking about.
Oh,
there's many lakes
gorgeous.
up there.
Okay, let me try to spin you around. Okay, spin. No, I need to spin.
Do you want me to stop or?
No, we're good. It's really gorgeous. I am in, now it's the heart of,
No, it's not.
oh, not yet,
We are far
Bucha.
from.
We just went, take a look at the past videos. We just went through a really posh area. This is more of a affordable or common, that sounds terrible, but a more usual small village. And as we go on, we're going to see areas that there were more destruction. What I really wanted to show you is that a lot of the world's perception was that Bucha was entirely destroyed. And as you can see, absolutely not so.
By shooting mines, artillery, tanks, but none of them were present here on this side of the river. Like tanks never reached this place.
They were just sending artillery over here.
So the main reason to blow up the bridges were because the tanks are too heavy. It's like several tons. If there are no bridges, they have no way to cross the river, and people can.
Now these houses were never hit though.
There were quite a few.
Oh, they were? Yeah, they've just been completely rebuilt?
Some of them, and you'll still see those ones which are...
Because these look beautiful. I know they have fences I can't see.
Very basic.
Well, but there's no signs of destruction. So have these been rebuilt, or were they not hit?
Yeah, there were some of them that were fixed. I'll show you some signs.
It looks like the majority of them were
like
refixed.
You can see.
And if I didn't say, we're in Bucha.
Just wanted to show you an example how.
Trying hard to let you see the houses, because a lot of this was rebuilt. And when do you think everything was rebuilt by?
Since this spring. This spring.
Was it started immediately after liberation?
Yes, slow pace they started doing last year, but really the construction started from March, April this year. Okay, so this is highest points of the place. You see, just give it so that you can get a picture. You see the holes in this concrete wall, in this concrete fence. Just imagine what kind of firepower it was.
Wow. And because this was the highest point of town, this is what they were aiming at.
Yeah. But it's just, these are really small things compared with what you're going to see now.
So this one here is still under repair, but hey, this is completely redone.
Gets firepower.
So we're in Bucha, and this is now the very heart.
No, it's not. It's not hard. It's highest points.
The highest point, and so in these areas, there's still signs of destruction. As I showed, please look at past videos. There's a lot of reconstruction that's been done, and in areas most, you can't even tell that anything's been happening. But the building we just went past was really destroyed and hasn't been fixed. And these now are bomb shelters.
Yeah. You can see those leftovers from the cars, burned cars, in this conclusion.
These were people trying to escape?
Not just there, but also this is business for more business.
Or just
it was full. The place was full of place like this.
So it's basically just collecting it to get it out of the road.
Yeah. So like you can see, these cars are these are minivans for transporting people and this, you can see it's not just burned; it's full of holes. So it was somewhere in the place of combat.
Mm-hmm. Well, during the first days of the war, I know people that got in cars and left Kyiv and were shot at. Yeah. We've been showing, please look back at videos, that many of the houses have been, and buildings have been fixed. This is one that has not. And you can probably see in some places they've taped over the windows, and there are people still living there. So this was a street that many journalists came to film, because I'm not sure you can see it now, but you can see there that the bomb blast was so incredible it just went right straight through the building. I hope, please look back at other films. Because so much has been rebuilt, but there are still areas here like these where it was totally and completely destroyed that have not been rebuilt. Definitely the minority. But like TV, I just didn't want to give you just the absolute, the success stories, which is probably 70% of rebuilt and even not destroyed initially, but the really bad, horrible things that happened as well. And their remains. So we did find an extremely expensive house that was not rebuilt. If you can see behind the really expensive house that was rebuilt. I think you're gonna like it here. So, if my earlier films of Bucha's wealthy areas are not enough, we're on our way to the private castle.
So on the right hand side. That's it.
Oh, in here?
Yeah.
Oh. It's behind the wall. Oh my goodness, look at this gate.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think we're going to be able to see much more than the gate.
But there's a really nice building there.
Oh my goodness, it's got like a tier and everything, but I can't see much more. No, sorry guys, we'd have to climb the fence and probably be eaten by dogs and I don't even know what. Oh my goodness, and they have their own, of course, personal security. So we'll definitely get in trouble.
So here.
Oh, Yvonne, I found some houses for you in the woods, well, close to the woods. For the small price of $300,000, you too can get a gorgeous house. And that will be a shell, so you can do complete construction. Yay! So now we're in the city center of Bucha, and these are, from many of these buildings, are the areas where, unfortunately, civilians were taken out and shot during the occupation.
So you see the memorial over there.
The tank?
Yeah, this is from Afghan war, Russia, the Soviet Union. Column. The tank column was going down. There was a railway
Towards Kyiv.
Towards Kyiv. So once they realized the bridges are gone there, so they decided to take a detour to the next.
And wasn't it 400 kilometers? I mean, it was some ridiculously long column of.
It was 84.
84.
So they were all going through these streets to cross the railway road.
And everyone in the West was going, why aren't they going? Why aren't they going? And it was like complete lack of supply lines. You said they were completely out of food.
Out of
gas. And their plan hadn't worked. They weren't able to land the planes, and the bridge had just been destroyed.
And the longer they would stay here, the more difficult it would be them to get out. Because of the supply routes and logistics and all this stuff.
Some of them were such, how do I say it, untrained that they just tried to back up the tanks into each other.
So now we'll be coming to this famous street. So how do you call it when there is like a secret plan, when somebody hides and then comes out unexpectedly? How do you call it? Like a trap?
Ambush?
Ambush. To refresh me.
Ambush from which side now?
By Ukrainians. So the tanks were going this way, hoping to get to the next bridge, which is some kilometers from here. And now they made, it was calculated, I think with the help of Western intelligence. So in all the areas, from all the areas, they would be coming to the most narrow place.
And this was it?
This was this street. So this street is completely rebuilt. completely, but it was completely destroyed.
Oh.
Completely. You see, it's quite narrow. There's no much room around to move sideways with the tank. I mean, with the tank they can break through the fence easily. But there are many small houses, private houses. This is all rebuilt. New pavements, new fences, everything is new. So
they were like sitting ducks.
Yeah. There was an ambush here on the street. And that's where in April when I was here last year, I saw legs and hands spread all over the place. From the Russian column.
Well, they've done an amazing job, like just looking like absolutely nothing happened here. Even though I saw pictures of lines of destruction.
You don't see anything. It's like nothing happened here.
And everyone lives totally normal as before.
Yeah. Those houses looks like brand new. I mean, they are brand new, some of them. So what they did, the column, once they reached the full length, it was somewhere over there. They blew out the first tank, so they got stuck. They could move there, and then they blew up the last one. So they got stuck here completely. That's when they started to shoot them down one by one.
Mm-hmm. And now we're entering Irpin, which was very, very heavily hit in the beginning of the war. Like Bucha, much of it has been completely reconstructed. Hope you're able to see. Without getting dizzy.
The main reason why Irpin got so much destroyed because they got stuck here. The Russian forces got stuck here and they didn't know what to do. You can still see some holes in the fences. And this building is completely destroyed.
Yeah, it's an odd combination of destruction, and then you have something that's absolutely completely remodeled anew.
There. So this college was completely destroyed. Now it's brand new. And it smells beautiful.
So this was completely destroyed. Wow.
Just for this sign, just for your video, it says Bucha on the top, Irpin. So that people
are certified.
Sure that they're
yeah,
in
we're
the right place.
We're really here. We're really here. This is not a propaganda video.
So these kind of buildings are from Soviet Union times. They are made of very solid concrete.
This is what Stalin period? Is it Khrushchev?
No. It's Khrushchev and after. So you see how the fence, how many holes. It also shows the density of fire. This is renovated. You can see. We might be able to get their own food, but it's very close if you want to. it's a detour. You see, they wouldn't let us because quite a few buildings like this made of concrete, like those ones, they are all brought down here because they were
too damaged.
Too damaged.
And this detour is so that they can do restructure.
They've closed it. They closed it down because they tried to rebuild completely the place.
That's great.
I'm always get impressed when I see so many holes in the fence. If you see closer, it shows how many. It's mostly not just from shooting automatic guns, but mostly from mines, shrapnel. God. This was one of the roads the Russians took to the next bridge. In this place it was really bad.
So now we're in Irpin. Here there's more signs of destruction than in Bucha.
Bucha, yeah.
Bucha. Is now compared to the before the war?
Here in Irpin or
in this
suburbs?
Irpin, Bucha area.
You know, the thing is, Bucha, Irpin, it's mostly very affordable place to live, to buy property. So many people from ITPs, from places like Kherson Oblast, which has been completely destroyed, they move in the places and suburbs like this one. So I think I would say it's back to the pre-war level.
But most of them you think are refugees now?
Yeah, not refugees, but IDPs.
Internal displaced people?
Yes, IDPs.
Interesting. We're driving along next to the railroad tracks. I'm not sure you're going to get a decent view of it, but these are the tracks that come from Kyiv and then Lviv and then Poland. So this is the way that weapons are now being moved into the country, and have been. And remarkably, the railroads have been very, very, very safe. Oh, we're showing you part of the car. Here we go. That's how I travel. Oh, everyone moved to these areas?
Traffic jam everywhere.
So this is when they moved out of Bucha and Irpin.
Yeah. So this is the central street, Irpin Central Street, where people all try to get. Like I understood right away that the best way is to move out of populated areas, out of city, out of Kyiv, to get lost somewhere.
Yeah.
And some people thought the other way around. So they thought it's to go to Kyiv, to city, to a place where they can get defense, protection. So you'll see now a very famous place in Konikwan, like home. It's over here. Just to give you a sense how many civilians have suffered.
So this is considered an outskirts of the cities?
No, this is the city.
Center.
Not center, but okay, on the left hand side. Maybe we'll make a YouTube like a tour.
Oh, where they have like just a pile of. And these these are people that were trying to escape.
Yeah. So just imagine how many properties. Most of the people who are buying these cars is a very affordable cars, but for some people it's just all the money they have.
Oh yeah, cars are expensive here. Oops, yeah.
It's better not to do that.
Speaking of cars. So these were people that were heading out of the city?
Yeah. So
I remember pictures of them all along the road.
You can see it's not just burned. Some of them are full of holes, which means they were shot. So like this minivan, most likely people were in there and it has been shot.
A lot of them have been shot.
If you want to make some like it's coming back to life soon. And this is famous picture from civilians hiding under the bridge.
Yes, I saw this.
It was here.
I saw this boat, and it was shot down almost immediately to keep tanks from progressing.
Yeah. So this place also under heavy fire. Some boots.
Now, is that church rebuilt?
No, everything is. I mean, almost no windows. That's for sure.
And we're now entering Kyiv from our trip to Bucha and Irpin. And so these are on the outskirts, but I can't really say total outskirts because they do have a metro station. So it has pretty easy access to the center of town because the metro here are fantastic. And like everywhere in the world, we're kind of stuck in a traffic jam right